2, 1. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Paint of Heart. I am Angela.
I'm
This is
Colton.
Colton. I didn't tell you.
Hi.
I should have told you.
No, it's
that I was gonna.
fine.
We are gonna be arting today.
Yes, it'll be fun. I have a flamer, which was my nickname in high school. God, I'm funny. I should go.
I think
into
you
comedy.
told that joke, but it was great.
Oh, it's my go-to joke. Well, that and the horse joke, but I don't think I can tell that on Twitch stream.
Sure. Are you gonna be picking up your flamer? Ooh, hold on a second. There we go. Are you gonna be picking up the flamer where you've got him on camera?
Yeah. This is yeah.
Perfect.
I'm just not holding it right now because.
Alrighty. Okay.
I don't know. Yeah.
So we got a bunch of stuff to do tonight. Colton's gonna be painting his flamer. I have a bunch of little pieces that I'm gonna be painting. Specifically the ones that I have. I'm gonna be delving into the terrifying world of clear plastic. So we're gonna see how that goes. It seemed to be going pretty well before. My nightmare, I haven't done anything with it yet, but the color's still looking really good. So I have high hopes. And I could use some suggestions for what to color some of these, because I've got a varied type of magic here. I've got some necromancy, I've got a little torch, I've got some ASMR wings. I was really excited that I got some ASMR in my minis now.
Very pretty.
And this kick-ass Furbolg druid who's got like leaves coming out of this this bit of magic from her staff. So
that's cool.
It should be fun.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, if I get a vote, I think the leaves should be like autumn colors.
Ooh, I love
as
it.
a little,
Okay.
Switch up of.
Sure. So then, okay, so the way it's designed is it's basically like a water spout. So it looks kind of like a tornado, and then there's just individual leaves. So I can hard paint the individual leaves.
Oh, yeah.
What color should the tornado-y thing be? I worry it's gonna look a little too much like fire if I go straight autumn colors.
Right. I don't know that.
Could do could do green. We could test it out, but we could do
Blue
green and orange. Cute. Try to start the autumn colors. But
sure.
Yeah, we can play with it though.
Also hope the day I'm not surprised by the fact that I have to introduce myself at everything is the day I die.
Oh my god.
I have a brand and I'm sticking to it.
Let's see. So if anybody has noticed, we have a border up above our stream for the up until now, until the end of February. We've officially dubbed it Nerdsgiving 2024. We're going to not be hitting our cameras. We're going to be raising money for the Palestine Children's Relief Fund. They are a group of doctors and hospitals that specifically cater to children and in Gaza. So we're raising money as part of Cipher of Tears fundraising group, which means that the money that we raise gets added to their total to try to get them to their funding goal. So if you want to learn more, you can find it at the link. All you have to do is write "give" with an exclamation point at the front into the chat. It'll give you a link to our Tiltify campaign, and you can find out details about the Palestinian Children's Relief Fund, and about the fundraising group that we're working with. So please, if you have anything to give, please, you're helping a lot. So you are making an impact. I will say that at the end of the month, I will be giving away a painted mini for a top donator. So just saying. Or I'll do a raffle. I haven't decided the nature of it yet. But yeah.
Nice.
Oh, we'll do icebreakers. It'll be fun, Mouse. So we're gonna get started. I'm still okay. So I really love my Displacer Beast, but I feel like if you don't know that it's purple, you don't see the purple. So I'm thinking of trying a very, very light dry brush in an obvious purple color.
Oh, that would be cute.
Just to add a little bit of something.
Make it look kind of like not burnished, but like brushed steel, but brushed purple.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Oh, I almost wonder if I should mix it with silver.
Oh, that would be cute.
I could try that out. Do I have an actual dark purple, though, is my question. Like, I've got... Ooh, actually, I have the dumbest thing, which is I have a glitter purple. Like, it literally has glitter in it, so I can mix that into it to add a little glitter to the color. Or, oh man, I have a bunch of options. I forgot. I have color shifting paint. So I have 2 here. This one goes from black to gold. And this is supposed to be a rainbow flash. Like it, I don't know, maybe. And then this metallic pink, which is not quite what I'm going for. So I can play around.
Nice. Give me 1 second, chat. I need to figure out what the hell is going on with my camera, because I'm painting my guy blue, and it doesn't look like I'm putting any paint on it at all.
Painting the flamer blue. I will always have that stuck in my head whenever someone talks about painting something. Including myself. Not painting myself, but including me painting things. So it seems like I have a plum. That's about, or wild iris. That's about the best dark purple that I've got. And then we're going to add a little bit of this glitter purple, which does fuck with the color just a tad. Because it basically dries clear. Or it dries purple. And then there's my silver. My silver tucked away behind my impulse purchase from the other day. If you would like to see what I bought, Colton, I can show you. I went to a local comic shop. Love doing that. Always end up buying something.
Sure.
Have to really hold myself to a standard, though. It's like, okay, just don't buy retail on everything. So 2 things I got. And I'm going to knock my camera over. I know it. I bought tabs for my monster manual. Like,
Ooh.
legitimate, like, WizKid made, like, alphabetized and categorical tabs for the monster manual. So now it's got, like, it's all... I realized it's the only one of the 3 core books that I have that didn't have tabs, and the tabs that the other ones had are just literally Post-its. With some Sharpie written on them.
Sure.
And then I bought a couple minis. I bought gnome artificers, who are very tiny. And also have some clear on them, so I was gonna base those tonight. And because in honor of Baldur's Gate 3, I got some intellect devourers. I'm really excited to paint some little brain kitties. Nice. They should be cute. They're very tiny and very cute.
Yeah, okay, that's showing up more. Looks like perfect.
Oh, good.
I love technology.
I don't want to get too distracted, but I do want to get these gnomes primed today. So I'll do that after I mix my shit.
Nice. Okay, so chat,
ignore that.
I have a fun story for you all for today.
Yes,
so today, this afternoon, one of the things that I had to do was I had to prime this guy because he wasn't primed. And it's very important to prime your models. So, the paint sticks for more than like 2 seconds.
Correct.
I was in a hurry. Because I have school and I was busy and things happen and life is life. Something you always, capital A, always need to do when priming things, especially when you're indoors, because say it's like 20 degrees outside, which it is.
Oh no.
Is you need to open your windows.
Yeah, how high did you get?
Oh, I was fucking off my goddamn
rocker.
Holy
no.
shit.
Oh god, that's terrible.
I have some chronic lung issues too, so like I was...
jeez. Yeah, see,
it
I have
hit me like
asthma,
a
so I
brick
feel you.
wall. Yeah. So yeah, I know. Just chat. Remember, don't do
Don't
what
do
I do.
drugs.
Just in general, doing what I do is usually hazardous to your health.
Don't
And
don't do what Colton says or does.
yeah, open your windows. Open your windows, kids. Um, oh,
Let the
I
fresh air
probably
in.
should be painting.
Um. All right.
Yeah,
So.
normally I'm good at that. I don't know what happened today. I was just like, I gotta get this done, and then I got it done, and then it was problematic.
Okay. So remember, dry brushing. A little bit of the paint, and then wipe the excess on a solid, non-sticky piece or non-absorbent piece of material.
Don't worry, I'm fine. The nice thing is I have a air purifier in my room, so it
Good.
wasn't like completely terrible. I was able to get that going pretty much right away when I realized what had just happened. Um, so like the room is livable now, obviously. Otherwise I wouldn't be here. Um,
Yeah.
but
I feel like you would have canceled if you'd really been fucked up.
yeah, exactly. Probably.
So here's another question I have for the Displacer Beast.
Yes.
What should I do about fangs and such?
Having those be silver, that would be cute.
Ooh, sure. Okay, now I'm gonna wipe this down just a little bit because I feel like I overbrushed. He's definitely purple now. Like, it definitely has the purple shimmer, so that's cool.
Nice.
I did lose a tiny bit of the see-through was really only there when you put it straight up to light. But yeah. Oh, what's fun is I have a secret thing to use for this.
Ooh, a secret.
I've got marker pens, including a silver. My light just doesn't want to be up today. Excuse me, sir. I'd really prefer that you stay in your seat during the performance. Okay. And then nobody pay attention to the nonsense that's happening. Just focus on Colton. He's super interesting and talented, and you should pay attention.
Speaking of super interesting,
okay.
I've started my second ever Warhammer book.
Or reading.
Fourth book, because Forges of Mars is a trilogy that was just in one volume.
Okay. Cool.
It's called The Infinite and the Divine. And it is amazing. Because in 40k, we've for all of you playing Paint of Heart at home bingo, you can check off the free space of Colton mentions Warhammer.
But that's the kind of minis you're doing. That's the kill option. That's the death option.
Yeah.
We don't play that kind of drinking. My goodness.
That's probably for the best. So there is this race called the Necrons, and they're essentially Egyptian skeleton robots.
Kick ass.
They all got tricked by ancient gods millions of years ago into selling their souls and putting their consciousnesses into robots, which was generally determined to be a bad idea by most of the Necrons. And then they went to sleep. Except for a few stayed, and they're all kind of waking up now, and they're yelling at people to get off their lawn.
I mean, they gotta stay awake. Someone had to guard the celestial pyramid.
Yeah, exactly. But the Infinite and the Divine follows Trazen the Infinite, who is this
seems like a really relatable character.
Yeah, oh yeah. just a
he's just infinite.
4 million-year-old robot zombie.
Yeah.
Um,
Totally.
and the biggest thing about the Necrons is they do a lot just to stave off boredom, because when you're millions of years old, that's sort of the biggest issue that you have.
Of course.
So Trazen decided, I'm just gonna start collecting things, and he has. He has an entire planet that's just one massive gallery
Hey,
called
Colton,
yes.
real quick.
Ooh,
Oh, come on. Go into focus. He was totally in focus before. I got his teeth and I got his little, like, tentacles are also silver on the bottoms. He's
I
just
love
fabulous.
it.
Look, you can see the claws shining.
Yeah. Ooh, that's
Even not in focus, it looks good. I do have to clean up the eyes a little bit, but this marker is not fine enough to do that successfully. So I'm gonna leave that. Anyway, please continue. I
yeah, yeah.
apologize.
No worries. So Trazen just collects things, and this includes people. Like
Mm-hmm.
there are entire battles that were fought between two armies, and he just stepped in, kidnapped both sides, put them all in stasis, and posed them in the exact poses that they were captured.
Damn
And
it.
there's just galleries of
What
this,
a douche.
right?
Absolute the buffoonery of it all.
He just has oh
No,
oh
you're
that's
fine.
my yeah. Your camera
Me
moved, and for
hitting
some
my
reason I
camera.
thought it was my camera, and I'm not smart. Anyway, and then so it's him. He's one of the main characters.
Mhm.
Um oh yes, let me do that. Forgot I need to shift for Paint of Heart. Sorry, I didn't mean to move my mic while I was pressing down on my foot pedal.
Okay, we're still figuring stuff. It's okay.
Alright, is this better?
You sound good.
Fantastic. So that's the
Try to turn you up a
infinite
little bit
in
here.
the infinite and the divine. The divine, which is kind of a misnomer, is Orakan the Diviner. He's a seer, and kind of an ass, because, all Necron are. And the entire story is these two incredibly gay robots
I'm already here for this.
fighting over a little trinket over thousands of years. The first third of the book takes place in 10,000 years, I think. um and a big chunk of it is just skipping until Trazen steals the thing from Orakan steals the thing back from Trazen, and
Oh,
it's just
Tracy.
and because they're
Why won't you
robots,
just
they
accept your feelings for each other?
yeah, oh yeah, it's and I my favorite thing is that they're so incredibly gay for each other, but it's not a love story, because they're just
Listen, gay
it's
characters get to have more than just love stories, you know? It
yeah,
doesn't have to be their entire character or
exactly.
story.
It's not enemies to lovers, it's enemies to worse enemies.
But
And
we're still incredibly gay.
yeah, oh yeah, still
Uh-huh.
incredibly gay.
Uh-huh. I love it.
And I'm
For her.
thriving reading it. It's so funny.
That is very, very good.
Um
There it is.
Also, though, there's another race. I think I talked about them in an earlier episode, called the Orcs, that speak in very, very big fake Cockney accents and are generally nonsensical.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the bits is them both teaming up to fight an orc army,
Mm-hmm.
and it's they're just both so appalled at the orc's entire existence, because it's just so nonsensical. um there's a description of one of the weapons that the orc armada uses in space is a empty torpedo that's just filled with a bunch of orcs that they
Sure, you just
launch
launch them. Yeah.
into space and hope you hit something. And if you don't, oops. And
You're
if you do
expendable,
hit
I
something,
imagine.
oh god, yeah, orcs orcs are cheaper than humans. Because when you kill an orc, it releases spores,
Oh,
which
god
plant
damn it.
yeah, and then grows more orcs.
Dear lord.
Um,
Can't handle that.
yeah, the orc organism is its own like full ecosystem. Because those spores can
Of
grow
course it
into
is.
Gretchen, which are like goblin creatures. They can grow into squigs, which are all manner of animals. Some are for livestock, some are
Gosh,
for
Gretchen, you can't
shooting.
just ask someone why they're a squig. You're welcome. I'm sorry I killed you. I'm sorry I killed you, Colton. I'm so sorry. For anybody listening at home, when the sound goes completely out, it's because Colton muted himself so we wouldn't hear him asphyxiate. Very kind of you, but also, oh, I'm sorry.
Oh my god,
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. That was the funniest thing.
Thank you.
Congratulations, you've just developed the third 40k joke.
Yay. I mean,
Oh my
listen,
god.
I am nothing if not full of Mean Girls jokes. Because my favorite joke that I did was in the first episode of Dragon's Crown that Franz is doing. I made a meme that was Karen and Regina George on the phone, the original Mean Girls, and she's just going, "Boo, you whore!" And then I just replaced Karen's face with Tiamat's heads.
Oh my god.
I thought it was pretty funny. It was stupid as shit, but it was funny.
My favorite Tiamat meme that I ever did was just badly photoshopped like the Karen haircut on each of Tiamat's heads.
Incredible.
Actually, I still think I have that photo. Hold on.
So I decided I'm going to do a winter and a summer pixie.
Fun.
Since I have two, I figured I'd differentiate them somehow. I hope I picked... they're pretty identical. It's... God, they've got some weird shapes, though, that I'm gonna have to play around with. They're so tiny that priming them just erased it. I mean, not even that the prime was the problem, it's just they do not have much in terms of facial features.
Sure. I sent it to you, by the way.
Thank you. I will take a look when I'm almost done here. Yeah, there we go. Nice little guy.
I've spent the last 24 years training my laugh to be somewhere in between a supervillain laugh and maniacal pixie. And I think I've hit the sweet spot.
Good. No, I don't want that one. I want the C9. I want this one, please. I want focus. Turn off the auto. There he is. So there, Colt. Now you can.
Oh, that's so pretty.
So now I have to paint the actual. So that's a purple alchemy, pinkish color, mixed with some zealot yellow to make kind of an orange. And then so that's the summer one, and then this is the winter one so far. It's in a cute little like sky blue that I tried to mix up. And
nice.
we'll have to see.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see how those go. My goal was to do the clear stuff first, because otherwise it will be very hard to fix with the solid color. If I go a little over it with a solid color, it's fine, whatever, but I don't want to start with a solid on it. So now I'm doing the little torch for my little goblin. And I'm going to try, emphasis on try, to do a tiny bit of lighting effect on the goblin, which I've never done before. You know, like they're holding a torch, so I'm going to do a tiny bit of like yellowish dry brush or something on the face of the goblin. Nice. All right, so I'm thinking... All right, so I've got 2 ASMR. One of them I think I'm going to turn into like a flaming, like, sort of vengeance ASMR. And then the other one's going to be more of that like typical angelic one. So I'm thinking straight up yellow for one of them to do kind of like this celestial flame kind of effect. I'm honestly going to probably use the orange from the pixie here, which I think we'll use. We'll do the one that has like flames on their staff, which actually no, the one with the swirl seems a lot more fiery. So we'll do that one. So try really hard not to leave too many bubbles. That is the one downside to a highly liquid concentrated paint, is that it does get aerated a little bit when you shake it.
Hope, it's called ASMR, which is like AASMIR. Like there are more letters in the name of that.
Listen, for the last year and a half, Hope, we've been making that joke of Andy, before I heard anybody else tell the joke, Andy told me he wanted to play an ASMR and just have a bunch of candies in his pocket. And then like break one out and just put it right up against the microphone. So it's just, and never explain the joke. Andy's problem is that his jokes require you to like sit there for a few minutes to think about what he's done, and then you roll your eyes and groan. He really likes his layered jokes, but yes, an ASMR would be great. It's just in and of itself a wonderful thing. I like the idea that like the angels just whisper really quietly to you.
Honestly, I like the conceptualization of that, where like angels never raise their voice.
Because if they did, your head would explode.
Yeah, like
very Thunderbolts, but or very what's his face? Thunderbolt, maybe? Whoever from the Eternals.
The
one who can't talk. Is it the Eternals? No, it's not the Eternals. It's the Immortals? Fuck, I don't know. The ones who live on the moon from the Marvel universe.
I have given up paying attention to Marvel a long time ago.
It's okay.
I watched Endgame like a year after it came out with my boyfriend, and that was my then boyfriend.
You're like, I'm good.
And that was the last Marvel thing I ever watched. Actually, no, I watched WandaVision.
I was gonna say, WandaVision, definitely worth watching.
And then I just stopped paying attention.
And that's okay. I won't judge.
I feel like
no judgment.
I am.
There are some good ones that are worth checking out, but like, I don't know. I'm not gonna hold my breath either. I've got when you start having a backlog and it starts feeling like homework, I'm like, I'm good. I'm done.
Yeah.
I have been meaning to. Honestly, most of the reason I watch it anymore is just like Thirst Trap. So like, I want to watch Moon Knight because of Oscar Isaacs. I watched the fucking Black Widow movie because Florence Pugh reminded me that I'm not a straight woman. She's so funny and so cute in it. Like, it's ridiculous how funny she is. Hope. Last was Moon Knight, which was excellent, thanks to Cinema Therapy covering it as a positive example of DID. That's really interesting. As someone who has kind of occasionally fallen down the rabbit hole of DID information and films and stuff, like I watched United States of Terror, which isn't like great example, but like it's, you know, for the time period, it wasn't too bad. A little sensational, but you know, it got down to the core concept of DID is not really a gimmick so much as a trauma response, which is important.
There's a great book series called The Stormlight Archive by Brandon Sanderson.
That's why I've heard of it.
Yeah.
I was like, why haven't I heard of that? Because it's one of Brandon Sanderson's billions of books.
And one of the main characters actually has DID.
Okay.
and there's a lot of like scenes from her perspective, and it's very well done
Interesting.
for like representation.
So, Hope, if you're curious at all, the ASMR, so if you're queer and you play D&D, you probably like tieflings. Because that's a thing. Tieflings are like devil spawn, basically. Like you're born either because of a pact that a devil made with your family or an ancestor, or you know, sometimes it's characterized as like a curse. ASMR are like the celestial version of that. So like an angel because of like a bloodline thing, or you were blessed by an angel or something like that. You were touched by an angel. I am actually kind of intrigued by the relatively new race that got introduced, which is basically like, hey, what if we did Egyptian mythology, but like
Which
all animals? So they have like animal heads. I don't remember what they're called, but like they are the new ASMR basically. Because the ASMR are literally just like people that are slightly too pretty.
You mean in Sigil?
Is it Sigil? I don't remember where they're from. But I think they might have been released with the new 1D&D content.
Oh, okay, because
They're
Sigil
like a
released a bunch of the Archons.
That might be them though. That might be it.
Animal-esque.
Yeah. They're
Celestials.
Yeah, then that's what they are, the Archons.
Yeah. I mean, they weren't. This is their introduction in 5e, but they've been around since.
Yeah, I mean, mostly everything's been around before. Yeah, so yes, they're new to 5e. I am intrigued. So Hope, Hot Angel, it does sort of cover it, but I also am very intrigued by people who take it to the like weird eldritch horror kind of biblical angel way too, because the idea that so there's two ways that I enjoy interpreting ASMR. One is going like what they call like, you know, the biblically accurate angel, where it's like, oh yeah, they're just as physically interesting as tieflings can be, where tieflings can have weird things going on with them. So like an ASMR could have like a couple of extra eyeballs, or maybe like two pupils in their eyes, or like weird things going on with them. I also like the idea of an ASMR that is like pretty, like attractive, but like too attractive, like almost uncannily so, which is hard to, you know, kind of hard to make a face claim for if you do that for D&D characters. You gotta find someone with like a weird ethereal vibe to them.
Saltburn guy.
Sure.
Not the. I mean, not the.
Which one?
Not the. I hate to not the hot
the obsessed
one.
The obsessed one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I heard.
I mean, I'm not saying he's not hot, but
I managed to avoid any information whatsoever about Saltburn, and then I was just bombarded with information about Saltburn, and I was like, okay, hold on. I really have to, I basically did a speed run through that movie going, that's not what happens. And then I went, nope, that's what happens.
I love that movie, like, so much.
Oh, queer folks and their weird characterizations in film sometimes. Alright, so we got this guy, which I'm gonna go with like some green magic. That's kind of cool. Oh, I forgot to shade this. Trick. Okay, I will not cover those yet. I need to do the priming first. So I want to do something interesting with my necromancy guy. What color should the necromancy magic be? I'm really I'm feeling like I keep leaning really heavily on my teal and pink purples. Like, they're really fun colors. They're some of the fun colors for me, but
sure.
I hesitate making everything those colors.
I mean, I'd say go for it. I have refused to paint anything not blue. ever.
Or pink.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. See what we can do here. Sure. I don't have like a hot pink. I have like a mint green with pink accents. That's what all of these have been. They've been this teal mint green. It's fine. That's just my color scheme. That's just my entire collection is going to be, in my fantasy world, those are the primary colors.
Iconic.
As well as the bisexual flag colors, because apparently I can't stop making things pink, purple, and blue.
I mean, yeah, that's...
Great color scheme.
Tzeentch demons are the bi flag, and I
love that for them.
It's like half the reason I decided to take up the army to begin with.
Oh my god. You're like, listen, I'd pick them for the color scheme. This is good because it's like, it's almost blood pink, but it's not quite, which is a little uncanny and unsettling.
God, this guy just has so many faces. It's not really letting you see that, but like each of these weird bumps is a different face.
You gotta love demons, like...
Right.
That's one of my claims to fame among my D&D players, is when I want to make something unsettling, I just give it too many of something. So like, too many hands, too many arms, too many eyeballs. Like, okay, yeah. There's a reason we call it uncanny. Oh yeah, this kind of looks like he's just pulling the blood out of this zombie.
Oh, that looks so cool.
This is one of my favorite pieces. I want to be really careful with painting him because he looks so cool. I'm really excited to do this one.
All right, I finished the first Baharoth blue base coat, and it's pretty much drying.
So I didn't show you my ASMRs. So here's there's the blue one. And it's got like sort of a blue flaming weapon. And then we've got the Scourge one that has this like spiral of flame around it.
Nice.
So it's a bit more furious. And then I've got this, I've got a harpy that I'm gonna try to do like a sky blue for the color underneath it. I just want to look like it's flying.
Alright, time to paint some flames.
Oh, Andy and I came up with the other day this is gonna sound weird, but we're talking world building, so it's always gonna sound weird. A derogatory term for a tabaxi that is like noble and hasn't worked a day in their life. We're calling them soft paws.
Oh my goodness.
It just made me happy.
Love that. Is that from the Puss in Boots?
No, I don't remember where we came up with it, but I thought it was fun. It's gonna be utilized in the Robin Hood game that I'm running.
Oh, fun.
Because I am nothing if not equal opportunity douchebag. Why should just the humans be vilified in my world? It's also fun to give them like villains that are different races. It's like, hey, you gotta fight this cat. Alright, we got a sorcerer here. With like a sort of a spiral magic going on. So far we have orange, pink, blue. What other colors could this little splotch of magic be? Right now I've basically got red, like a real dark blue. Maybe I don't want to go brown. But I got green.
Do
Greens
blue.
and okay, we'll do High Lord blue,
Ooh.
which is a slightly
I mean,
more cobalt color.
I'm always going to suggest blue. It's the best color.
Ironically, not using the one that's called magic blue.
Love that.
I don't know. We'll find out. We'll see how it looks. Oh, sure. That's cool. I'm like saving the green magic for the druid. I feel like if I do too much green, it'll... They'll all look like druids. Ooh, I can do a little fun multicolor thing where the back of it can be the lighter teal blue and the front of it can be the darker cobalt. Give it a little bit of a fun effect. There we go. Yeah. Oh, that's nice and bold. That looks like lightning.
Ooh,
Maybe I'll
yeah, I like it.
maybe I'll do a little highlighting in a light blue or a white. Give it kind of a effect. I know that I just used a lightning sound to describe what I was trying to describe. I was like that kind of thing.
It's perfect. No,
Fun fact, a
got it.
southpaw in baseball is a left-handed pitcher. So if you're a left-handed cat who plays a sport, it could be a southpaw.
Amazing.
Baseball, please. They only play cricket. We're gonna go green with this one. What's Fire Giant Orange look like? I haven't actually messed with it. Is it just gonna be red?
Sounds strong.
Ooh, okay. It's kind of a... Yeah, it just comes out of the red. When it comes to clear stuff, it's basically just red. I wanted to make like a sickly green, but oh well. We have chosen, and we must accept our fate.
Like, I know these guys are called flamers, but my goodness, do they have a lot of flames coming out of them. Which I really like, because I absolutely adore this purple, which is the color of all my magic flames for my army. Which is showing up as blue for some inexplicable reason on the camera. God. But yeah, and then I'm gonna, after I do a second layer of the purple and the blue, I'm going to go over the flames with a gold wash.
Okay.
To give it like this shiny property, so it looks like magical.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean more than bright purple flames does, of course.
I have 2 furbolgs and they're both druids. Damn, mini manufacturers stereotype much? I actually have a lot more than 2 furbolgs because I have the critical role set. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 Pumat souls. Or Pumat's soul, maybe? I don't know if it's an attorney general thing.
I don't know what that is.
So in Critical Role, Matt introduced, basically, for season 2, he was basically their NPC store keeper that they all fell in love with. Pumat was an artificer or something, and he was a big furbolg. And when they first came to visit him, they were very confused when they discovered that there were 4 identical Pumat souls in the shop. And they're all just doing different things. It's because he made duplicates of himself in order to get his work done.
Oh,
so they're just like, Oh yeah, yeah, Puma, that'd be great. Yeah, I could do that for you. No, I can help you with that. No, I appreciate that very much, Puma. Thank you. And she's just like this dopey store manager. And when Critical Role had some of their figures made, they made a Pumat Soul, but there's 4 of them, and only one of them has like a pair of goggles on his head, and that's how you can tell he's Pumat Prime, because the other ones are all identical. And I still wonder if I'm going to make them identical or if I'm just going to paint them as different furbolgs. But so here, he's a very small Pumat because I have some very big ones. But so this is Pumat. He's just a cute little furball guy. If you compare the height difference between this one actually looks like she's about 8 feet tall. So yeah, it was a simulacrum mouse. Thank you. I love simulacrum. It's fun.
Me too. It is, I think, the funnest spell, especially for that and clone.
Yeah, the different ways you can combine those 2 spells into like fun. Like, what does a mage do when they realize that they don't have to literally be dead? They can just do this instead. It brings up the whole, like, what is the nature of consciousness, which is fascinating.
Whenever I run a game, I always rule it that if you cast Clone, after the body is grown, after the 120 days, instead of it automatically transferring, what you also can do is put a different soul into it.
Ooh, that's
neat.
If
you say have captured one in magic, in a silver cage spell.
Sure.
And that's real fun because you can do that to an NPC and then put them in a villain's body.
Oh god, and you just like body snatch the villain?
Yeah.
Jeez. That's fun, replacing them and just being like, hey, just be less of a douchebag and everything's fine. No one has to know anything changed. You just had to change a heart. I enjoy that very much.
Thank you. I have fun with my spells.
I'm gonna put a spoiler tag on this. If you are one of my players in my Gangs of Edgewood game, aka the Robin Hood game, mute the stream for like, I don't know, 5 minutes. That's your only warning. I don't think any of them watch the stream, but I just wanted to be, I wanted to cover my bases. So my Robin Hood game is on its 2nd session. We're gonna play on Saturday, and I am very much looking forward to their first official mission as a group of criminals trying to fuck up the aristocracy.
Should be fun.
And the merry men have been given a task of smuggling a common rat into the middle of the soldier, like, training camp for the evil Prince John. And they only have, like, 50 minutes to do it. They've been explicitly told, you have to get this done within an hour. Okay, now it's 55. You gotta get going. So they have this very real time crunch. Now I'm curious if Colton, you have any reasons to think why would this group have to deliver in secret a small animal into the middle of the camp, and they have an hour only to do it?
I have no idea. On a completely unrelated note, how long does the spell polymorph?
On a completely unrelated note, about an hour. So unrelated.
So weird.
Also, I decided there were dinosaurs in my world.
Oh my god.
Specifically T-Rexes.
That
is
incredible.
What? Hold on. I have to look up what I named the rat. They're like, what's the rat's name, Angela? And I'm like, hold on. And so I started looking up dinosaur names. Let me see. The rat's name is, Smiley, I think?
After Smilodon?
Well, more just like Toothy, being Toothy. But
Oh, yeah,
sure.
that's fair.
Let me see if I can find it.
I love that
Um,
so much. I thought it was just gonna be like a wizard or something. No, a T-Rex is
no,
so
it's a
much
T-Rex.
better.
They're letting a T-Rex loose in the middle of the camp. That is their task right now.
I
did get
so
that from a
want
random
that to
generator,
happen.
but it made me very happy.
At the same time, I really hope some bad rolls happen.
Oh yeah, 100%. There
And
were
like
so many
they're in
bad
the
rolls in the
market
first
when the hour
session.
happens.
I have to figure out how to actually be like timing it.
I would do a clock, like a blazing
Yeah,
dart
I
clock.
have
Might
them.
be
Yeah, I have them in
easiest
Roll20
to
to use.
abstract.
Yeah.
Just because like
I mean,
you
honestly,
could...
I was thinking of giving them an actual like in-game timer, which could be a fun little stressor.
Yeah.
Because I think they could do it in an hour, but you know. Or basically just double it, be like, okay, you have an hour, I'm giving the players 2 hours. And you have to
Yeah,
get
that'd
this
be
done
good.
within 2 hours. That's a slightly easy to grapple with.
Yeah.
Time frame.
I mean, that's what Paranoia does, kind of, and I love Paranoia.
Oh, sure.
Where it's like, you have until the end of the session to do this.
Mm-hmm.
You could say it takes weeks in game, but you only have one session.
But yeah, there were so many bad rolls in the first session. It was really nice, actually. Because, one, Andy's playing a fucking rogue. So, oh, darn, I already have like a plus 12 to something.
Yeah, are you starting at level 3 or
2?
Okay.
I wanted them to like... I'm trying to take my time with this one in terms of both money creep and level creep. So I want them to they'll go to 3rd level and then after the next session. I just want to see what they'll do without their fancy powers first.
That's fair.
But I reserve the right to change my mind before Saturday.
My favorite thing about 3rd level, I've been looking at it, is there's certain bards at 3rd level that just never can roll less than a 16
Yeah.
on a persuasion check.
Gotta love it.
And like, that's so cool. And I hope that none of my players ever play one of those bards, and I cannot wait to play one myself.
Thank you for the reminder, Hope. Oh.
Yes.
It does appear that we had a donation as well, so thank you to whoever did that. Let me see if I can find it. Hope, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Hope.
Really appreciate it. No, nobody in the game, Mouse, is gonna draw me suggestive fan art in order to convince me to let you level.
Has that
did
worked
work
in the past?
Yeah.
Nice. I respect it.
They were like, listen, if I make filthy art of these characters, will you let us level? And I was like, Pixar didn't happen. It was more like the art had been done, and then it was sent to me, and then I was like, so, can we level? And I was like, fuck you. Yes.
That's amazing. Oh, okay. So, we're talking about secret D&D stuff now, right?
Sure.
Okay, I need to tell someone about this.
Okay, please do.
So,
this is a safe space.
Everyone, if you're in Franz's Curse of Strahd game...
Shut your mouth, guys. Or
plug your
mute.
ear holes
I
and
actually
don't listen
have a
to
little
this.
warning alarm that I meant to put on. Like, it's a little woo-woo signal flare kind of GIF
Oh,
that
that
I
would have been
could start
cute.
putting it on there. I don't remember where it is, but I can find it. Okay, continue.
So, my original character in this game is named Tavar, and he is a gunslinger. And not the class, just like in general.
I was gonna
And
say,
his
fuck
gun,
vampires, just shoot them.
yeah, right? His gun is named Bleeder, and Bleeder is some weird, horrible entity that likes pain and blood. Because,
Of course it is.
what gun doesn't?
It's a domain of dread. Of course there's a
Yeah.
bloodthirsty gun.
And Tavar died 3 sessions ago.
Uh-oh.
And
did he?
Me and Franz were like, whisper, whisper. I think Bleeder takes over Tavar's body
Oh god.
when you get resurrected. And I'm like, yeah, sure, okay. So they all take Tavar's body to the Abbey, and Tavar gets resurrected.
Oh, he gets like actual rezzed. Gotcha.
Yeah. And I play Tavar for a little, or I play Bleeder for a little bit.
Incredible.
Right? And then my next character comes along.
Uh-oh.
And I start playing him. And Franz takes over Bleeder / Tavar.
Incredible.
And right now Tavar's currently in the gun. They have switched spots, essentially.
Gotcha.
And
that's awful. Oh, your poor buddy.
Oh, it gets worse. 'Cause my current character is a spy for Baba Lysaga, which is like an evil hag in the setting. And
sure sounds like a hag.
He is secretly a scarecrow that just has like a basic
I love that. Oh god, that's cool.
illusion over himself.
Yeah.
It has like, in his mind, he doesn't realize any of this. And he has like a full fleshed out backstory.
Oh buddy.
And I'm so excited for anyone to cast Detect Magic and or have True Sight.
Yeah.
And somehow none of the other players have like noted that anything might be wrong.
Oh,
and
about
I don't know what's happening.
Oh god.
Because I think they have it in their heads that Tavar is just kind of gonna go away. Like, go off on his own quest, but hasn't yet.
And
I'm like, really, y'all? This is Curse of Strahd?
And
there's
Franz
no alarm bell? Yeah! Like, not a single alarm bell has been rung. In the first session, I have written everything down that Grigori, which literally translated means watcher, which I thought was cute.
Incredible.
Everything that he has learned. He has learned who all is trying to kill who all is trying to kill Strahd. That Esmeralda is still alive. Where Irina is.
Oh no.
That the group is trying to plan a raid on the castle to steal some things.
For anybody who doesn't know, Irina is Franz's waifu.
And
he will destroy you if you try to fuck with her.
Yeah. Also, the like main reason the big bad evil guy is doing anything at all. Yeah. Because of weird reasons.
Because he's an incel.
Yep.
An incel with face blindness. She's a redhead. She looks like my ex. Love this. Look at this dragon. I'm so proud of him.
So pretty.
Yeah, I got like the silver affectation.
Where the were-ravens are. Grigori knows that now.
Is that like... I don't know why, but when you said where the were-ravens are, it sounded it made me think of like I know why the cage bird sings. I don't know why. I think it's more because it sounded like where the wild things are.
Sure, sure. But like all of this super important stuff that's designed to like be kept from Strahd and Strahd's allies. Because from what I understand, and like again, I've never played Curse of Strahd. I've not looked at the book.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anything. Lysaga works for Strahd or works with Strahd. I don't fully know. But like
Mm-hmm.
all this information has been given to like this very evil,
What?
and I'm
Oh God. So speaking of hags, um, there is a really cool homebrew book that somebody made called The Book of Hags that just
ooh.
has like a dozen or more different types of different like species of hag. They're very cool. There's one called an anise hag
I think
that
Annis
is
are in the regular book.
wait,
aren't they?
no, is it not anise hag? They're the really tiny ones?
No, Annis
Okay.
hags are the
Okay, there's a different type of hag then. I'm getting the name
something.
wrong then. But there is a type of hag that is like the size of your thumbnail.
Oh my
And
god.
it likes to burrow into people's heads and control them from inside their skull.
Oh,
And it's
grody, I love
awful.
it. That's horrible.
Yeah. It's magnificent. But yeah, the Book of Hags is a great supplement if anybody wants to check it out. Got some really cool stuff in it.
Definitely going to now.
Different ways of being horrifying.
But I'm just yeah. Also, he walks on stilts, my character. So he's like
Oh,
full scarecrow and
I
everything.
love him so much. This poor
I based
guy just trying
his
to be a real boy.
yeah, I based his whole vibe off of oh, I forget their name, but they were a group of French shepherds um
Ooh, okay.
in the early or early I think all of the 19th century.
Mm-hmm.
And because France is very boggy, surprisingly. And not surprisingly, it's a hellhole. Um the shepherds had to wear stilts so they wouldn't get, stuck in the mud.
That inspired Mad Max Fury Road.
That's where I found out about them.
Yeah, I love
Uh
that. That's really cool. I'm actually planning eventually on running a second part of our the charity stream that I ran that was Fury Road as a D&D
ooh,
campaign, and I love it to death. If anybody wants to check it out, it's on our Nerdsmith YouTube channel. It's called We Are Not Things. It's a it was a charity stream we ran for the National Abortion Funds network, and it was so good. Everybody was tieflings. It was
nice.
a game really far in the making. Like when I first saw Mad Max, when I first saw Fury Road specifically, um, I think very quickly came up with this idea of like, because some of the names are really like descriptive, they felt like tieflings. So like capable and fragile and splendid all felt like great tiefling names. So I made those into tieflings, and then there's a human and an elf and stuff. And so I basically cast them like how people go, "Oh, if the Disney princesses were D&D characters, what class would they be?" I did that with the wives from Fury Road.
Nice.
And we played a really fun bit of like fantasy Mad Max. So I finally got to bust out the Avernus set, so I could be like, all right, we've got
Ooh,
hell vehicles. We basically had an entire combat scenario that was the chase scene.
that's so cool. I
But also really goofy and funny. So I had this idea of like, what if the wives were the main characters instead of Furiosa and Max? So Furiosa is this like fallen angel who was like an NPC, but then I had a friend of mine play her in the middle of the campaign or in the middle of the 3-shot. And then the goal is like they're trying to get to a heaven, like they're trying to get out of the hells.
I really
Um
like that.
that she's from
I
like Elysium or something.
I think I caught
Furiosa
that
is.
live back in when it came out,
Yeah.
and it was very fun.
My favorite
Um,
bit was that I did conceptualize that there was a redemption paladin named Maximus. Um, but in the middle of the game they decided to name the red cap that I put in the like in the truck. They decided to name him Max.
oh no!
So there's this red cap living on there, and it's really cool because I found this great style for the red cap that wasn't just a like a little gnome. He like the red cap is like part of his head,
Ooh,
and he's got this like little like piranha face. It's very good. And he just ended up being this cute little like creature child that they decided, because of course it's D&D, so somebody adopted a weird animal.
yeah, yeah.
And so yeah, so Max just hangs out and like kills people when they need him to, and it's pretty funny. But yeah.
I love that.
And I characterized all of the war boys as Goliaths. Like young
Oh.
Goliaths who had been, brainwashed by the immortal instead of Immortan Joe. And they were told, like, you're all going to Isgard. You will be gloried and all that stuff. Pretty like cut and paste from Mad Max, but with the world having more of a flavor of the hells, specifically Avernus. And yeah, it was just cool, and I want to do another session because they got out, like they sort of got away, but they're only technically like halfway through the movie. So I wanted to give them the opportunity to like actually attempt to get out. But like they could end up in Sigil, honestly. I think that's kind of what they were shooting for, was like, hey, we just need to get out of here and get, like, there's not necessarily a direct path from Avernus to a heaven, but you could get to Sigil through the River Styx maybe, or like there's things that they're going to try to do to get out.
I will always support characters going to Sigil.
I am trying to continue priming. I got my little brain kittens done, but I'm working on the gnomes right now.
Nice.
So I bought this priming paint that's apparently meant for airbrushing, but it can be used as a paint. So it's very tacky. But it's nice and dark. That was what I wanted, was like my acrylic black was like not quite black enough.
Sure.
You know how sometimes the cheap paint, it's like, this is like kind of more of a dark gray. My god, this gnome artificer has like wrist jets that are shooting fire or something.
Love that.
That's very good. Oop. Okay. Gotta try not to lose my texture. Oh. That's the real trick, is like not over painting, because then it'll just be like a big bubble of paint on top of all that nice facial stuff. Do anything fun this week that was not D&D or not TTRPG?
No.
No's acceptable.
School. I started my second to last semester of college. So that was fun.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Today I did a bunch of buttonholes for my theater design class, so that was fun.
Man, buttonholes feel really intimidating to me, even though I do have a sewing machine that like has the ability to do them.
Once you like figure out it, they're so easy, but like they're terrifying up until you need to
they're
like
not.
force yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
which I mean is the worst sentence that anyone has ever said. I hate the
Yeah.
it's blank until it's not, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. It sucks until it doesn't. So I was am currently recovering from a bad mental health week, but the day after my bad mental health day, I went to a coffee shop and I hung out and I got a cortado, which is like the only kind of coffee I drink now.
Love cortado.
Yeah,
I
just need something that like is really creamy and awesome. I put it had toasted marshmallow syrup in it.
Ooh.
So I went to this little coffee shop, and then as I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll just write in my journal or something, like just unplug. And then I look out the window of the coffee shop and I see some of those rentable scooters, which I have never done before. And impulsively decided to try one out. So I did, and it was fun, and I was safe, and I didn't fall on my ass or anything.
That's
yeah,
good.
I was like literally drove for like 7 minutes. But yeah, it was fun. It was something different, and just needed to clear my brain, and doing something weird and out and about was apparently a good way to do that. Still working on it, but I feel a little better.
That's good.
Painting helps too. This is like a nice little zen activity. That needs to be enough because I don't want to keep priming today. I wanted to paint color today. Alright, so I got my little gnomes and my little brain boys. Alrighty, what else we got here? We got... Oh, you know who we should bust out? Let's start busting out the giant troll.
Ooh, yes.
Okay. So, I was thinking green, but we could do a different color if we wanted. He originally was like pale flesh color, which was an uncomfortable look for him. Didn't want him that color. And I don't want to make him teal or purple. I love those colors to death, but not every one of my characters can be those colors.
Go League of Legends and paint him blue.
You know what? Here's the thing though. I have a blue-gray. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that'd be cute.
It's called Cloudburst Gray. No, Cloudburst Blue is the color. Let's see what that looks like on this tissue. Let's see. Ooh, that's a little too dark. Also got this like orange. Okay, so here's the thing. Here's the thing with making him orange, Mouse. My first ever game, and this is very unfortunately dating our government system. The very first game I ever DM'd, we played one of my players came in with a character who was like a paladin of vengeance, and her family had been massacred by a giant orange troll.
Oh, goodness.
And as she continued to describe this great orange troll that nobody liked, but somehow came to power in her village, I realized that it was a giant Trump metaphor. And now I cannot think of anything but that if I see a giant orange troll. So I'm going to make this troll bring me joy. In some other capacity. But I appreciate the feedback. We'll make something else orange. What's this? Should I?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know what you're asking, but yes.
I have an olive green that I think I was. There is technically an orc skin, but I think I like camo better. Let's just do it. Just commit. You gotta just commit sometimes. Just gonna go for it. I want to do it really light though, because I want to maximize the detail that you're gonna see in him. God, he came out so good though. I was so pleased about how the texture came out.
Nice.
It really does look like veining, like his veins are popping because he's angry. So that worked out really well. I also, the other thing I did yesterday was I impulse shopped at a Goodwill, and got a $15 giant stuffed dragon that somebody clearly got for Valentine's Day or something, but then donated. I choose to believe after a breakup. Like I'm building a whole headcanon here about what happened. But he's a big blue dragon and he's very cute. And my dog likes to snuggle in him.
Cute.
Which is very good instead of trying to chew him. I was hoping she wouldn't try to eat him, so. Apparently he's too big to be considered a chew toy. But yeah, she like snuggles into him. It's very cute. Just trying to locate the gloves here. Or the little gauntlets he's wearing. So that I can paint around them and not get them all. He's so big that the colors, like he's easy to paint in the inside the lines. Which is nice. It's got kind of a Hulk vibe going. Which, you know, is fun. I can change it up a little bit, but I'm gonna give him red eyes, I think. I want him to kind of visually look like the goblins that I was gonna do. That also have green skin and red eyes. I like the beady little red eye look. It's cute. Alright. Yeah, see? My color on my camera is a little, unfortunately, desaturated. He looks a little better in person.
I still think it looks pretty cool.
Oh yeah, the color's great, man. Slap chopping really changed the game for me in terms of making it look like you put way more effort in than you did. You still put effort in, but not nearly as much as if I'd had to like hand paint the shading.
Right.
Plus happy accidents, like the weird scarring that's now on him.
I have not met a single one, Hope. I have heard some horror stories about some, but they are few and far between.
For me, it like when you write the long backstory, the biggest thing to remember is that that's got to be for you. Like, you can't expect your DM to be able to convert all of that into something. You can use it for your own use and like, but the most useful thing for me as a DM is a bullet list of what I call knives. Here are the things about my character that I actively want you to exploit for drama. And it's like, if that stuff's in your bio, give me an outline with that stuff in it so that I can take that list, I can pop it in my notes, and I've got it ready to go. Personally, I also think that it depends on the level you're starting at. Because if you're gonna try to like if you're gonna try to like kind of stay true to the intent of 5th edition specifically, your character, if you're a first level, you're not a hero yet. Like, you did not go on any adventures yet, really. Or like if you did, they're minimal and you didn't save everybody. Unless you're doing the folk hero background, and even then, you're supposed to be like kind of small potatoes before you start leveling. So like a really involved backstory is like cool, but if it's gonna be like, I had this epic adventure before I had my epic adventure, what story are you telling then with your campaign? So it's, when you're considering your character, I would say talk to your GM. That's what I would say. But for me personally, I try to encourage my players to say, hey, if we're going to start at a low level, that's where your character is in their story too. You're still in the, you know, the call to action phase, or the call to heroism phase.
Also, Hope, do not feel bad about Chris, uh, especially because we are an actual play. Hope, I think the rules are different a little bit.
That is very fair. That is very fair.
Because like for home
and every
game,
table's different. So
yeah. Also, just don't feel bad for Chris in general. Right? He's there for us to bully. So like, sorry, Chris. It's true.
God.
I very much love Chris, who is the GM of For Light and Dice. He is wonderful and amazing.
That's awesome.
And I only bully out of love.
Mm-hmm. Move the thumb, please. Excuse me.
I support it. Are you planning on publishing it in the Discord?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say like just publish it. Yeah, if it's a novella.
I say go for it.
Main question to ask is, did you find the writing of it, and do you think the having it will be helpful for you as a role player? And if the answer is yes, then you're cool. You didn't waste your time. You're doing something for you. You're doing, and your GM has access to it if they need it, and you're good. But yeah, my biggest suggestion is just about like your expectations for its use. I would always want to make sure my players get something out of that level of detail for themselves, because I can't always guarantee that I'm going to be able to sit down and read that. But then like having it there for reference if I need it is amazing. So like it has its uses. But then again, you know, I'm neurodivergent, so we just, everything with a big hefty dose of salt and a big ass asterisk.
Also, I realized I didn't say it out loud. I am letting some of the paints on my flamer dry, so I'm starting up my super tactical droid again.
Ooh, nice.
Doing another layer of the Soulstone Blue Technical.
Soulstone, that's a cool color name.
It is the color of the Eldari Soulstones in 40k. Which, alright, lore time. Woo.
Let's do it. Take a shot.
So the Eldari are space elves, and the Drukari are space dark elves. They up until the last 10,000 years or so, the Eldari were pretty much the dominant civilization in the galaxy. And being the dominant civilization of the galaxy, they were like, I don't know what to do with ourselves. And then one Eldari was like, let's do some debauchery, and all the other
Hell
Eldar were
yeah.
like, hell yeah. So they had a few millennia of debauchery, and the warp, the story of or the alternate universe in 40k that sort of exists on the thoughts, emotions, and everything in the real world, in the material plane, was like thousands of years of debauchery. I can do something with this.
Oh no.
And in one instant called I forget what it's called, the fourth god of chaos, Slanesh, the prince of pleasure and pain, she who thirsts, was awoken after a real good Eldari sleepover.
Like a real rager.
Yeah, and because of how she awoke, she ate pretty much 90 to 95% of all Eldari souls.
Huh.
And still
Listen,
has a claim to all
worth it.
all of them as well.
I hope the party was worth
So
it.
if an Eldari dies, if any Eldar dies, their soul immediately goes to Slanesh. Now this is considered bad to the Slanesh, to have a demon control your soul after you die.
Oh, to the Eldar, you mean?
Yes, yeah. The Eldari are a
Gotcha.
group of the Eldar. The Drukari.
Sorry, you said it was bad to the Slanesh, so I just wanted to clarify.
Oh no, very good to the Slanesh. Right? Yeah. Bad to the Eldar, and so they figured out how to store their souls in a way that won't get them slurped up by Slanesh.
Slurped by Slanesh.
Yeah.
And
that is
that old chestnut.
To continuously carry a soul stone with them, so that way if they die, their soul goes into the soul stone, and then it can be put in a infinity circuit, which is like a artificial afterlife for the Eldari.
San Junipero.
Yeah.
Sorry. The only Black Mirror episode I've ever really watched all the way through, so.
Oh. I've never watched Black Mirror.
There are 3 episodes worth watching.
That's what I've heard.
And only 3. One of which really I wish was being talked about being optioned into a show, and I kind of wish it had been. It's an alternate, or it's a virtual reality that is basically Star Trek, like 60s Star Trek.
Sure.
And the main character gets zapped into this world because the guy who made it is like testing it, but he's like trapping people inside it to test it. And so you have like this guy playing Kirk, and everybody in it is like, okay, we're totally playing along, like everything's totally Star Trek-y, and they're like, you need to shut the fuck up and stop pretending like you're not Star Trek, because he's gonna murder us if you don't tell. It's like a mix between Next Gen, Galaxy Quest, and that Twilight Zone story with the little boy that could change reality from the Twilight Zone movies.
Yeah.
And he like trapped his parents and family into the house and just did shit. It's very much like that, except it's very empowering at the end, and then has a really fun twist about like where they end up, and it does leave open to a really fun idea for a television show.
Nice.
And then San Junipero. Those are the 2 that I really actually like a lot. They're the 2 non-horror ones, or at least the 2 that are like the least horror.
Sure. The only thing I know about Black Mirror is that it didn't steal a concept. It's a pretty well-defined concept in sci-fi, but I like to say it stole. It stole the, like, infinite nested simulated universes concept
Sure.
from
Okay.
a wonderful, wonderful short story by a guy who goes by Quantum,
Okay.
called oh god, what is it called? Hold on, I need to get the title right because it's so fucking funny.
Yes. Thank you, Mouse. For the love of everything alive, skip the first episode of Black Mirror. It sets the tone for the whole show, but like in the worst way possible.
Oof.
Involves blackmailing a British politician by forcing them to do something untoward on camera and then broadcasting it. And it involves a pig.
Isn't that just an
That's
actual
all.
thing that happened?
I wonder
Like-
if that's just a rumor because of the Black Mirror episode.
Well, no, like wasn't it like genuinely I think this is before, because like this was in like 2013 at least, that James Cameron did some things because he was part of like a gentleman's club or whatever that existed pretty much for every other member to have blackmail on all the other members for some inexplicable reason.
You mean the
I don't know.
Epstein list? I don't know.
But so the story is in the book Valuable Humans in Transit, which is another great short story, where it's this essentially this AI that's in charge of the entire world killing everything by disassembling because
Lord.
it discovers that there's a solar flare that'll kill and destroy all technology and kill all people. The entire population of Earth stores their memories in consciousness, shoots it off
jeez.
into space, and then the solar flare hits and it saves like the 14 like physicists that it needs, and it's like, all right, we have 6 years. How do we travel faster than light? Because like it wants to go to where it shot all the information,
Mm-hmm.
capture it, and then like recreate humanity.
Sure.
And it's just this very cool thing. But the
Because that's reasonable.
yeah, I think it is.
Honestly, it makes me think of Horizon Zero Dawn, which I fucking adore.
That is another thing that I know nothing about.
It's so good. It's worth going in without really knowing much, because it definitely has a the mystery of the world is kind of a big part of it.
Sure.
But the major conceit that I would say, it's pretty obvious what the major like premise of the world is, that it is post-apocalyptic, but to the point where civilization is just, it had to rebuild. So you have an entire you have multiple generations of people that do not know anything about technology, but they clearly have some of it.
Sure.
Because they're like using it in almost like prehistory ways. Like,
oh, okay.
Like they're nomadic, or they're like they live in tribes, and they shoot bows and arrows, and they use metal, and like and the other like twist in it is that there aren't really many big animals. The only megafauna are robots.
Oh,
And they are large, almost like the MIT like dog robots. They're that taken to like the extreme.
Okay,
And
I think I've
they
seen some of them in like the advertising.
Yeah, they
material.
consume biofuel in order to power themselves. So they just eat grass, and they have become the megafauna of the world.
That's cute. That's real cute.
Yeah, it's really cool. And then like the major conceit of the first game is literally like, so how did this happen? how does nobody know? I don't even remember what they call like ancient humans, but like it's the group that you initially encounter. They're very much like they're very much like a tribe. They are a matriarchal tribal society. They're very low tech, very hunter gatherer, and you do find that there are other civilizations that are more like in the Iron Age or the Bronze Age in terms of
Oh,
tech.
sure.
Which is cool because you get to see, like, depending on where these people were, like, or wherever they developed, they have different levels of technology. Um and yeah, it's just really interesting to, like, from a world building perspective, from a mythology perspective, where, you spend a big chunk of the beginning of the game learning, uh they're called the Nora, the tribe that you start with, learning their culture, because the main character, Aloy, is, um she was found, and they have rules about finding children for some reason. Like, the circumstances that she was found in made her seem like she'd be dangerous, or she was cursed or something. And so there
Oh,
was, like, this
interesting.
whole culture of, like, who's gonna take care of this kid? We're not gonna let her into our culture. And so there's a guy who is, an exile. They have, like, an exile culture that if you do something wrong, you get sent out, and, like, you're shunned, nobody talks to you, and then eventually you can come back. But, like, you're basically in timeout for a while.
Nice.
But the guy who takes her on as his child is, like, permanently outcast. And he's like, I'll raise her. She'll be my child. And so he, like, teaches her to hunt and all this stuff. But then, like, specifically, nobody in the tribes are allowed to talk to them because they are exiles. And so it's this weird little. It's just beautifully rendered. The music is gorgeous. The stories, the first game, I haven't played the second game, but the first game is really, really good. And it has a very fun hunting system. Like,
Nice.
the physicality of the main character is really cool. Eventually you get, like, slow-mo arrow shots, which is really neat.
Ooh.
Like, she's focused and you can see, like, okay, you have more time to react because her reaction time is better. Plus it's Ashley Birch,
I
and I
like
love
that.
Ashley Birch. The main
Um.
character in Horizon Zero Dawn is the same actress who plays Tiny Tina in Borderlands.
Oh, that's great.
But, like, completely far end of the spectrum.
Yeah. I figured it wasn't just gonna be another that
Plus
character.
she's, like, I kind of consider her canonically Ace. Um,
Oh, fun.
because there is kind of like a BioWare sort of dialogue system, and there are characters who totally flirt with you. But, like, she is understandably like, I got fucking work to do. I
Right.
don't have time for this. And so if you're gonna justify it as, like, no, she's got work to do, or you could justify it as, like, no, maybe she just doesn't have any interest in romance.
I like that.
But then there's just, like, really hot people to talk to, and so you can enjoy it. But if you like that, and she's just like, listen, I'm just doing my shit, okay? I
Um.
have I have a little Aloy Funko, and then I also have a little, what they call, watchers. There's, like, these little raptor robots that have cameras on their faces, just a single eye. They're like a little Cyclops raptor, and so I have a little one of those. They're very cute.
I found the name of the story.
Cool.
I don't know, Timmy. Being God is a big responsibility.
That's very good.
And it's about these two researchers that, like, fully create, like, a fully simulated universe.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh, this is fun. And then they're like, I want to help. Like, it goes, like, they find themselves talking about finding themselves in the simulated universe, and it goes all the way down.
Oh god.
And they're like, I want to help out, my tiny me. So they program just a massive gold cube to appear in the room.
Oh no.
And then behind them, a massive gold
That's fun.
cube appears in the room, and they're like, oh my god, we're simulations. And like it's about like grappling with that.
Oh, sure.
And it's like, how do we make sure that, and like the cube appears in every single fractaline reality. So they're
Mm-hmm.
like, if one of us turns off this computer,
Oh, Lord.
we all do. And it's like, oh god. It's a
This is bad.
brilliantly written because it's not like necessarily a horror story.
But a lot of
Um
sci-fi has existential dread, so
yeah,
that's
yeah.
fair.
Um it's very existential and I love it. Um Also, the whole like talk about exile made me remember one of my favorite books.
Mm-hmm.
It's called The City in the City by China Melville,
Okay.
and it's brilliant. It's these two cities in Eastern Europe that share the same space, and not in like a magical there's an alternate reality. No, there's just two cities, two political entities within the
That
same
share
like
the same territory,
area.
basically.
Yeah. However, it is illegal to think about, to notice, to talk to like interact with anyone from the other city or anything from the other city.
So how do you identify them? I assume that's
Architectural
part of the story.
style, yeah, like architecture styles, clothing, all this stuff, and like
Color coding system, maybe?
honestly kind of it's described as like currently one city is experiencing a massive economic boom and the other isn't. um so
Hmm.
like there's descriptions of these massive buildings that the main character cannot see. I mean, he can see,
But he cannot
like,
acknowledge that he sees them.
yeah, and it's
That's very
essentially like,
1984, like double think.
yes, um and it's
Maybe
just brilliant.
slightly less malicious, but still.
And like there's only one border office and it's just the same building, and there's just a tunnel in the building
Hmm.
that lets you pass through into the other city, and you just drive through the building and you're in the other city.
I don't know why this is reminding me of this, but I really need to go get a very, very temporary Apple Plus subscription.
Oh,
Because
for
I need to watch
Severance?
Severance, yeah.
Same. I need to do the exact same thing.
Maybe, you know what we could do? We could do
Hmm.
like a movie party. We could do a watch party on Discord and just have like one of us have it.
I would be down. Um, but can I spoil sort of
Yeah,
something near the ending of The City
sure.
in the City? If you don't want to hear a spoiler for China Melville's The City in the City, please close your ear holes.
I'm one of those people. I don't always have time to read books, but like I love hearing stories. So if you would like to share, go for it.
Sweet. So, it's a murder mystery,
Ooh. Okay.
the book. And the person who's responsible, near the end, no one can tell which city he's in.
Okay.
So both cities' police departments are too scared to like catch him
Oh my
because
god.
neither know where he's at. And it ends with a standoff between him, two police officers from opposing cities who aren't acknowledging that he or the other officer exists, and the
Incredible.
main character,
Mm-hmm.
who is also in weird like political limbo. And it's just
That's
such,
fascinating.
yeah, it's oh, it's so good. It scratches all the like weird brain. um and I it's just
Oh, it's green.
truly a
That's not the color
brilliant
I thought
novel.
it was.
um so is Perdido Street Station, which is his one of his other books, which
I
takes
feel like I've
place in
heard.
an actual like full fantasy series.
I feel like I've heard of that one.
It's his most popular
Okay.
book. It's very it tackles very like big, mature, capital M themes.
Gotcha.
Um, but it's great. It's the two of the main characters. One is a scientist who studies like magic and stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
the other is a Kepri, which are these species of they're all women because the male Kepri are just massive scarabs,
Huh.
and they're like
Gotta love that
essentially,
sexual dimorphism.
yeah, essentially just human women from the neck down, and from up it's just a giant scarab beetle.
Love it. That feels
Um,
powerful.
yeah, and they the main character is a sculptor. She's a sculptor, and like she uses um kind of like silkworm excretion stuff to like sculpt. But like Kepri sculpting is done backwards, so they can't actually see their sculptures while it's being made. It's
Hmm.
very cool. It's a very, very interesting, cool thing.
It's like, listen, if you can't handle me at my human, you don't deserve me at my scarab. At my giant scarab monster. Okay. Got that. I'm slowly coloring in this guy. I don't think I'll finish today, but here's the front half. Here's the side of him that is kind of done.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm
Gonna do his teeth eventually, and then we'll get them all ready to go. Go where? I don't know. Back on my shelf. I feel like I'm doing like a ton of prep for some like hypothetical eventual DMing in person. Like
that would be fun.
I play exclusively online, and so there's like almost this like, maybe I'm in Severance and there's this other Angela that's actually getting to use this stuff, because I just use it as decoration at this point. But I like love crafting things. I love working with my hands. I love having something physical to show for it when I'm done. It makes me happy.
Sure.
And that isn't always something that I get to do when I'm running something online. And I just love the little touches. Like, it's one of my things. Like, for a long time I considered going into hospitality, because I was like, I like party planning. I like helping people. I like doing things to make people's time special. I decided I was a little too selfish for that. I didn't really feel like it. But the thought was there. Because yeah, I just was considering that, you know, it'd be fun to professionally plan stuff, because I enjoy having something come to fruition after.
Sure. I mean, that's kind of what I'm doing right now in my like actual real life.
Yeah.
I'm an intern for a literary festival, so I'm like working on getting our people, getting. I mean, we already have the like venue, but like talking to the venues, and it's been very fun.
I'm gonna eventually get to do something kind of like that, which I'm excited about. I'm working with a friend of mine on a I told you last week about the Resident Evil fan film that we're gonna work on.
Oh, yes.
I'm gonna be doing some location scouting because we're gonna be filming here. Because
nice.
Gainesville is a podunk little town for a cute little town. So there's lots of little like alleyways, and it's got some industrial parks, so we could use that for like Raccoon City locations, and a lot of cool stuff like that. But I'm going to be like legitimately looking at location scouting, because we need to like figure out buildings and stuff. But what was fun was I was looking up like, hey, what do we do? Like, are there rules? Are there like licensing issues with filming here in town? And I found a website from the official like local government that's like, hey, bring your film studios here. Here's a list of movies that have been filmed in our county. And so one of them was like, The Devil's Advocate.
Oh.
I think because he was in Florida, I think, originally. He was like a small town southern lawyer, Keanu.
Oh, that makes... Oh, yeah.
And then Jeepers Creepers was filmed here.
Really?
Guess we have a lot of cornfields.
I love that.
Those were like the two big ones that they listed.
Nice.
It made me laugh. So that's a project I'm going to be working on. And I would like to extend an invitation if you would like to help with that podcast idea. I think it would be really fun to do a true crime lore podcast for horror video games. Or for just video games in general. Like, I really want to do Control.
I love Control. Well,
right.
Okay. I have thoughts about Control.
Sure, but it's thought-provoking. Like, it's a cool, like, it's an interesting game. I haven't played any of Alan Wake, though, so I don't have any context for that, but, like...
Neither have I.
Andy has played Control, though, and I watched him play Control, so I'm, like, aware of the plot and stuff.
My thoughts on Control is Control would be the perfect video game if you removed 75% of the combat from it.
Sure.
It is this brilliant game.
So make it more like Alan Wake, is what you're saying. It's like, make it this thoughtful mystery game.
Yeah, because, like, the combat ranges from incredibly boring to hair-pulling out difficult, and there's no in-between. And there's, like, very, very, very few times where the combat, like, feels valid and, like, actually enjoyable.
The only section that has, like, seared itself into my mind is the goddamn heavy metal scene.
Oh,
it's so cool. Like, that is the coolest thing. Like, Andy was just grinning from ear to ear. He's like, this is so awesome.
It was absolutely brilliant.
Oh god, thought I was breaking it. I forgot that the only some of this figure is rubber, or only some of this figure is metal. I was bending the club he was holding. I was like, oh god, what am I doing? I was like, no, it's fine, it's rubber.
One of my favorite books of all time, I think it probably is my favorite book of all time, is Mark Danielewski's House of Leaves.
Oh, sure.
Which, like...
I have a copy. I haven't read it.
Oh, if you like Control, you'll love it. It's, like, all the same vibes. But much more academic as opposed to, like, the bureaucracy of Control. Which, you know, as being an academic, I like.
Yeah.
It's also just so fun to read. Because, like, I love footnotes. And there's a few.
Yeah, just a few.
Like, this is... I will very rarely say this, if at all. Hope, if you can't find it, just order it on Amazon. Like, there is one book that I will say it's worth buying it from Amazon, and that is House of Leaves. Oh,
paint on camera. So I think we're gonna wrap up soon.
Sounds good.
I wanted to get some rest and such. I'm trying to take it easy as well. So, but I'm very glad we were able to meet up and do this.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm excited to get back into the painting. On this, I have to paint the toes on this troll because I accidentally painted over them. Or rather, I clayed over them with my my rock pattern, or my little base project.
Right.
So
that's
I've got one I've got defined toes on one side and then just a flat foot on the other side. Oh, but yeah, I pretty much have my first coat down. So there's my
Nice.
troll. I have some uh extra stuff to do on him, but he can dry, and we'll leave him go, and I'll touch him up another time. I'll revisit.
Yeah. I'm almost finished with this guy. I just need a few more some like heavy detailing work.
Yeah.
So I'm probably gonna do that off camera, where I actually can like get into the spots without having to be on camera about it. But he's almost done. I'm very excited.
Amazing. So we've got. I might go over the. I'm really removing all sense of the purple, because I think I might go over this with a black wash just to kind of get back to the dark a little bit.
Sure.
But he does have the silver claws and the little silver tentacle-y things, which is fun. And then we've got my blue dragon that I had already blue tinted, but I was really pleased to get the like details in it, with the wings and the claws and stuff.
I will say, thriftbooks.com has copies of House of Leaves. So
this came out so good. It dried this like beautiful matte color. I might add some shine to it just to add to the like magiciness of it, but it looks really cool.
Yeah, I like it.
I'm very excited. This piece is going to be very neat. All right, and then I got my some of my other magic guys, and we'll this is supposed to be a drow. I have a couple drow. They have little spider staffs.
Nice.
So we'll play around. Oh, this guy's also a drow. This sorcery guy. He has the little spider staff. All right. Well, let's call it there.
Sounds good.
And we will, again, Hope, thank you so much for donating. We're going to be raising money. I'm going to be trying to put together some, like, giveaways or something fun for people who might want to participate. And we're going to continue raising money for the Palestine Children's Relief Fund for the rest of the month and through the end of February. So please, we'll have some socials up, so check us out on Twitter and here on Twitch. Stuff to share and promote will be coming up this week. You can find us on Twitter. And if you're watching and you liked what you saw tonight, you can find out more about us at nerdsmith.org. We also have a Patreon, patreon.com/nerdsmith, where we will be having, I keep saying this, but we will be having some cool content coming up very soon because I'm currently writing it or designing it. And we have this week, I believe we have our final movie watching. Let me check our events. We have a sort of pseudo premiere for a new trivia show that we're starting called Quizzical Hit.
Yes.
Returning champion Jay and our host Gabby will be doing more nerdy trivia.
I will be on that this Thursday.
Yay! Good luck,
very
Colton.
excited about. Thank you. I'm glad to finally be able to use all that useless D&D knowledge that's been globbed in the back of my brain. So
we have Friday is Dragon's Crown, and on Saturday night at 9 p.m. We've got our final movie watching, which is going to be Blade Runner, the 1982 version. So please check us out. If you haven't joined our Discord server, you can find us on Discord, and that is where the movie watching and other fun things will be happening. We got a real chill community that we're trying to grow and build and have some good times with, so please join us. And yeah, we'll see you guys here next week. We'll be doing some more painting. Have a great rest of your night. Be smart, make good choices. And do us a favor, okay? Be good to each other. And whenever you can, please paint from the heart.
thank y'all. Bye.
Good night. Bye.